this is Nayumi Cee speaking, and for today's topic, we'll talk about 20 common interview questions at Concentrix, and this is as per request by Mr. Rob Sheen. So, the ideas that I'll be giving you in this video are purely based on my experience when I was interviewed at Concentrix. So, this is gonna be a face-to-face interview, but it doesn't matter whether you'll be experiencing face-to-face interview or phone interview because the questions are pretty much the same. And of course, if these questions has been asked to me, then chances are these questions might be asked to you as well. So please make sure to stick around and finish until the end of this video because the questions that I put in here are random. So this is kind of from panel interview that I experienced up to the final interview. So please make sure to finish the video, especially if you are applying at Concentrix as of the moment or you have plans to work for Concentrix. And so let's begin. Of course, the very first question is, tell me something about yourself. Now, this is a very classic question, and oftentimes this is an icebreaker. And of course, even other BPO companies, even job related to something that's not about BPO industry, like you applying in a government institution or any other private companies out there, then this question might be asked to you as well. But by the way, you don't have to worry because the 20 questions that I compiled in this video has been answered already, and I'll just put the link in the description box down below so you'll be able to see all of the videos that I created about call center interview questions and answers. And I know for sure that I already answered this, so I'll just give you an idea as what are the questions that are asked to you, of course. So with tell me something about yourself, you might want to focus with yourself, of course. What are your accomplishments? What are the things that you can do? What are your skills? What are your strengths? What is the degree that you finished way back in college, your highest educational attainment? Of course, you might want to tell your experience as well. It's best if your experience is related to BPO industry. If not, it should be something that's about customer service. But if it's totally not related to BPO industry, then that's completely fine. And of course, my classic tips for you is for you to tell as much as you can. Be talkative, be friendly, and don't just tell something about your family background and such because they don't really want to hear that. All they want to hear from you is what is in you that they will be able to use in order for their business to grow. So you should have something to offer for the company. Next question is, why did you choose to apply in the BPO industry? So most of us or most of the people working in the BPO industry has different educational background. Some finished high school, some finished senior high school, some are college undergraduates, some are college graduate, and others others are even licensed, licensed teachers, licensed nurse, and all. So, why did you choose to apply in the BPO industry? You should be honest with your answer. Make sure that it's going to be positive, but please don't tell them that the reason why you would like to apply in the BPO industry is because of the salary, because you will be rejected. Next question is, what is your idea of a call center? So most of us, especially at that time, I don't have an idea of what call center is because again, I am just a newbie just like you. So I know for sure that you are a newbie just like me as well from before, right now. And so my best tip, if you will be asked by this question, is for you to do prior research. Researching is the key because if you will enter a battle without any idea, without any weapon with you, then you will lose, of course. So if you will be asked by this question, please make sure that you did your research, or at least you are familiar with how call center works, how it operates, and others. And the next question is, why did you not apply in a job related to what you finished studying in college? So this is mainly for those who finished a degree in college, but instead of pursuing their degree, they prefer to work in a BPO industry. And this is something that's related to what I did, because I am a college graduate, but I intend to work in a BPO industry. So that's a personal choice of mine, and how you can answer this is, of course, just be honest and just follow what your heart is telling you. And by the way, I already created a video about this, or an answer about this, so just check it in the description box down below. But yes, you already have an idea now. So the next question is, do you have a call center experience already? Do you have call center experience already? So this is basically you being asked whether yes, you have or you have not. But please don't answer it like a close-ended answer, like yes or no only. Say yes or no, or most of the time the answer is no, but explain the reason why, and of course your willingness to get the job, and so you'll get experience, right? The next question is, how much is your salary expectation? So most of the companies really ask this, and this is for me one of the most critical questions asked, because if your interviewer don't like your answer, then you might fail. But in this case, normally I don't give the exact figure as to how much is it that I would like to get. But if they really would like to give me figures, then I'll give them 15,000 to 18,000 pesos. That is enough. 20,000 is possible, of course, but that is way too much, especially if you're a newbie. But yes, 15 to 18,000 is fine, and that's above the minimum wage already, so that's fine. Number 7, do you have plans to take your board exam? So again, so this question is for those who finished a certain degree in college, and that they have to take the board exam in order to get license and be able to practice their profession. So in my case, I do have board exam, but I don't have plans just yet. So I also created a video about this, so I'll just put the link in the description box down below. The main purpose of this video, by the way, is me telling you what are the possible questions that will be asked to you. Now, if you would like me to give you the specific answers to these, then I already created those videos for you, so please check it out. Number 8, the class, what are your strengths? So please don't tell your interviewer your strengths are your family, God, because that might be true. But what they would like to know is that what are your strengths in terms of the job that you will be entering. Or do you have good command in English? Are you flexible with your time? Are you friendly? Are you capable of working with teams? Can you work under pressure? And such. You should have those strengths with you, otherwise you might not qualify. Number 9, I'm sorry. What are your weaknesses? So if there are strengths, of course, there are weaknesses. So in terms of weaknesses, please don't belittle yourself. Please don't underestimate yourself. Please don't tell yourself anything negative. Or at least you can, of course, tell something negative, but flip it with something positive. What I mean is, you gotta tell what is the negative characteristics in your traits, and then you cite an example why is it negative, and what are the things that you are doing in order to make that positive, or in order to overcome that weakness of yours. Now, let's say you are a shy type person, you're an introvert, then that is for you a weakness, and in order for you to overcome that, you now enjoy talking to someone, approaching a stranger, and something else. So that's like overcoming your weaknesses, right? Next question is number 10. Can you work under pressure? So, of course, in a working environment, there are always pressure. There are always conflict at work, but you should be able to handle it. You should be able to to work under pressure. So your answer with this question should always be yes, and you also have to state a certain example or an event in your life wherein you were able to overcome pressure. Especially if you don't have an experience just yet, then you can tell them your experience when you are still a student or your life in general. So what are those times that you've been put in pressure but you are able to overcome it? So if you will be able to deliver that in a good way, in a positive way with your interviewer, then you're good to go. Number 11, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? So this is a classic question as well, and most of the time we get mistaken in answering this question because some of us would like to be the owner of the company 5 years from now, would like to become the manager 5 years from now. That's completely possible. Being a manager and operations manager is completely possible within 5 years of your experience in the BPO industry. But you becoming the owner of that said company or replacing your interviewer that's in front of you, then that can be a mess. So please make sure to state something positive, something that you would like to accomplish in the future. And of course, you should see yourself 5 years from now with working in that same company. Please don't tell them that 5 years from now you'll be working, abroad. Because that means you will not stick with the company for a very long time. And if that is the case, what's the reason why they would hire you? So please tell them that you would like to see yourself working for the same company, but this time higher position. Okay? Number 12, why did you left your previous job? So this is for those job seekers who already has experience in terms of their job, of course. So let's say you already have work experience, working in a fast food chain or something. You already work in a bank. You already have another call center company. What's the reason behind that? Just please don't tell them or don't badmouth your past employer. Tell them that the reason for that is because of growth, because you would like some career advancement, you would like to level up your career, you would like to grow, you would like to achieve more in life, you would like to look for greener pasture and such. As long as the reason why you left your job is positive, it's for your own growth, and you did not badmouth your company, then they won't ask you further questions about that. But if you say something fishy, then of course they will, dig deeper and ask you more questions. So please make sure to answer positive choices or positive answers only, okay? Next question is, are you willing to work night shift? So 13 to 20 questions are like behavioral type of questions, and my best tip for you, especially if you're a newbie, is for you to just say yes and yes and yes, even if your answer is no. Because if you're working in a call center company, you should accept the fact that you should be flexible. And of course, the question is, are you willing to work night shift? So of course, we all know that working in a call center company most of the time is at night. Night shift, graveyard shift. I'm sorry. Why? Because our clients are living in the US, international. So we have different time zones. So if today is 3:26 a.m., then in the US it's 2:36 in the afternoon. So really we have to work at night in order to serve them while they are awake. But other BPO companies, of course, those companies who operate 24/7, of course, there are morning shifts as well. So you should be willing. Yes, I'm willing to work night shift. That's completely okay. Number 14, are you comfortable working in shifting schedule? Shifting schedule. So what do you mean by shifting schedule? Let's say your schedule today is 3 p.m. to 12 midnight. And then the other week, the following week, your schedule would be 12 midnight to 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Oh yes, 9 a.m., 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. So your answer should be yes still, even if you feel like you're not comfortable, because hey, the reason why you're here is because you would like to get a job. Because if you will say no, then your interviewer will say no to your application as well. Number 15, are you comfortable to render an overtime? So even in other companies out there, maybe government or private, we employers seek or ask for render sometimes, or render overtime sometimes. I'm sorry. Why? Especially if you're on queue, or that you have loads of work or tasks to finish and you have to render overtime, and you should be comfortable with that. Normally, that should not be more than 2 hours. So that's okay. That's additional money to earn. Next question is, are you amenable to work during your rest day if needed? The answer is yes, of course, even if you really don't want to. So we call this rest day OT, or rest day overtime. And this is actually good because your salary would be 130%. It's like they will be paid double because you work during your day off. So it's like 200%, sometimes 130%. So it's best if you will work like during your rest day, if you don't have anything to do, rather than scrolling through Facebook social media accounts. Just work and you'll earn 2 times more. So next question is, are you willing to work during holidays? Of course, most of us really don't want to work during holidays because we would like to spend our moments or our times with our families. But if you're working in a BPO industry, then you should say yes with this. So even if it's Christmas, even if it's Valentine's, even if it's New Year, and it's plotted in your schedule that you have work with that is a critical day, then you have to work. But there are perks with that, because of course during holidays, you will earn holiday pay, or like 20% or 30% more for your salary, or even double your pay for that. So if you are earning 1,000 per day, then that can go to 2,000 per day. So that's good enough. Number 18, how long is your travel time? So this is asked in order for the interviewer to be aware of whether you'll be late or not. Joke. Mainly to check what is the best time for you to be given a schedule, so as for them to check what's the best time in order for you to go to work without any hassle in traveling. And of course, if you are living way too far from your location, chances are you might get late most of the time, so they might not consider your application. But if you are really very much eager to get that job, then they'll give you a chance. 19. So what will be your reasons in leaving this job? So this is like a difficult question, but when I was asked by this question, I told them that I don't have plans to leave this job because my main goal is to be part of your company and work as a call center agent or a customer service representative. So they will feel secure with that answer of yours, because why would they ask you to leave a job if the main reason why you're applying is to be part of their company, right? So last question is, do you have questions for me? And you should always come up with questions, because it's kind of awkward if the interviewer asks you so many questions, and at the end of the day you have nothing to ask him or her. So again, you should be able to come up with questions to answers, or questions to answers. I'm sorry, answers to the questions asked. Most of the time what I ask is, when can I start? And they will tell you. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. Bye now.